Luigi Mangione.
He was an overachiever, someone who always wanted to do his best and ensure the people around him saw the best version of him. He was also deeply empathetic, always striving to do the right thing. But when his health started to decline, his spine issues and everything that followed, it brought out a version of himself he didn't recognize or like. It led him into a deep depression, and he eventually withdrew from others. He probably felt things wouldn't get better, and isolation became his way of coping. I watched a video where a self help vlogger talked about him and described him as someone who was always eager to learn, grow, and improve, qualities that made him the overachiever he was. But during this time of isolation, he began overthinking everything, including his place in society. He started to scrutinize what had gone wrong in his life. It's not surprising that someone going through such a painful, difficult time would start thinking so drastically. I've been in dark places myself, as have many others, though not to this extent. Another reason I think he isolated himself was his growing resentment toward people in his life. He referred to them as NPCs, non player characters, suggesting he felt they couldn't truly grasp what he was going through. Their attempts to connect with him probably felt shallow or unsatisfying, which only frustrated him more. Eventually, he gave up on talking to them altogether. Of course, his actions were drastic. He took his overachieving out of the box thinking and turned it up to 11 when he planned to shoot the CEO, assuming the motive is what we think it is. It seems like he wanted to make sense of his life again, and in his desperation, arrived at this extreme conclusion. At that point, he probably wasn't even thinking about himself or the consequences. He was in so much misery that instead of letting it consume him quietly, he thought it would be better to take a huge and impactful action. Even if it meant rotting away in prison, at least he would have done something that mattered to him. It's never easy for someone to lose everything, to go from being appreciated and applauded to being someone people pity. It's like taking an elevator to the top of a cliff only to come crashing down with all the G force when life goes to hell. Though he made a huge ass impact and got people talking about the healthcare system and possibly even the negatives about capitalism, how impactful is it really going to be? There have always been people overpowering people throughout history. Sometimes it has been better and sometimes it has gotten worse. And I think Bro knows this too.